Hello and welcome back to Productive Dragons channel. My name is April and today I'm finally doing the Evolve Artist classes that I said that I would do some months back. Sorry about that. Things got out of hand and well, I am determined now more than ever to get these classes done. So I have just finally finished my homework assignment for Block 1, Part 1. But let me tell you a little bit more about it. Evolve Artist was founded by Kevin. Kevin made this for anybody who wanted to do art. And you're using oil paints. So the first block, part 1, is welcoming you to the Evolve Artist, their community. And he starts off by telling you the main things. 1, how to get the best results. It's going to be take your time. That is the biggest, number one thing he says out of everything. Take your time. It doesn't need to be rushed. What could take 3 hours of you doing a painting correctly compared to someone who's doing an hour and a half and then has to fix all these mistakes that will take it even longer is a difference. He also states that this first block in this is going to be at least, if you give it 7 hours, just 7 hours a week, you should be able to do this whole block 1 in 1 year. Now, everybody's going to be different. Everybody's got a different skill. If it takes you longer, so be it. It's okay. No one's going to have the same skill set when starting. So taking your time and making sure each mark you make is with intent. Then you get how to use the portals. There are 2 portals. There's one with your classes and one for your homework. So you'll do your classes on one portal, and then you go to a different portal to upload your homework to get it evaluated and then get feedback. They also tell you about the community, about each one of the things where they have live call sessions. You can set up an appointment with a member to get more info, to help you in certain areas, things like that. And they have a big community on Facebook. I know Facebook isn't a favorite for people, but it is what it is. So then they go through your box and they tell you everything that's in the box. Now understand, and anybody who does Evolve Artist has the first 4 blocks. Okay. The first 2 blocks, they send you a box with all the materials you're going to need for the first 2 blocks. They go through all the different items, what blocks you're going to be using each item in. There's only one item they say is going to go across the board, which is your palette knife. But they tell you everything that's in this box that you're going to need. And then they go and tell you in text about additional materials, i.e. my desk easel that you see me painting on. I had to buy that. You have to get a 3/4 inch thick piece of plywood or masonite. My easel came with it, so I didn't have to worry about that. Painter's tape. As you see, I have painter's tape around the canvas. Pencils, preferably sharp. Paper towels. Yeah, we know it's not environmentally sound. However, Kevin said it makes more sense to use paper towels. It's a little cleaner because if you're using rags and you wash, you could destroy your clothes with much oil that you're putting into that rag. And then soap. Ivory soap works just as good as painter soap. I won't tell you what's in block 2 yet because we're not there yet. And of course you get a bonus course with this, but it's more likely for the end of your journey with them. Now, like I said, there's 4 blocks in the first one, and that box that you get sent you'll get it, and it has all your materials. When you get closer, you can ask for the next box, which will be block 3 and 4. But we're not there yet, so we're not going to worry. So right now, I'm doing the homework assignment. This is where Kevin teaches you how to use tracing paper. Yes, you'll be tracing the first block. I know it sounds weird, but it makes sense because then it's telling you how to do the paint without having to sit there and make sure you draw. There's going to be reasons behind it, and you'll see later on, he explains. So the first thing you need to make sure is that, number one, your transfers are done well. If you mess up your transfer, you're going to mess up your painting. So the first thing of the block 1 is transfers. Transfers must be done extremely well. Because if you miss one line, it's not going to work. It's going to mess up your painting. So that is one thing. So you didn't see me do the transfers. You're seeing me doing the paint part. I just couldn't see putting down the transfers and having you watch me do it. But I made sure that each transfer came through. Then he teaches you how to mix the paints. You get 4 grayscale paints. There's an extreme dark, a moderate dark, or I should say shadow, a light, a moderate light, and a extreme light. That's what you're seeing me paint with. It teaches you how to mix the paints. Your darks aren't as dense as your lights, so there's going to be a difference in oils. He teaches you how to make sure that the paint is done correctly, that it's mixed correctly, because without correct paint, it's not going to help your painting. That's another, so he's going down the line of what you need from here to here. So that's when you go into that one. And once your paints is done, then you're going into, okay, brush strokes. How to make your paint work for you, not against you. So for that, I'm using a number 6 that was given. You'll get a lot of brushes. There's more 6s than there is of any others. But you sit there and he teaches you 3 strokes. I have to say it was very difficult for me because I have painted before. I've painted watercolor and I've painted with acrylics. So oil scared the crap out of me, in all honesty. I was like, I don't know how this is going to do. And to see how they did it, it was like, And it's interesting because you'll find that, as you notice, there is a few times where I'm away from the camera. You don't see any brush. That's because I'm cleaning the brush off between those. Except I'm not doing what you, like for acrylics, you use water. Watercolor, you use water. You wipe it with the paper towel. That's why he says use paper towels, not rags. Because a lot of that oil will then leach onto your clothes once you wash and destroy a bunch. So, hence the fact paper towels are better. But then he teaches us, you go through and you go slow. You do not race. You do not push yourself and go, oh, I've got to get... No. You take your time. This video has been speeded up. It was 1 hour and 8 minutes. Now, he said this should take you 90 minutes. Now, I don't know if he included the transfers and the mixing of the paint, or if he's just talking about painting. So I went a little fast. I know I did. I wasn't happy with my homework, but it was done, as you will see, and I turned it in. But he basically tells you exactly what the paint is supposed to feel like, what it's supposed to be, how to use the linseed oil. He also tells you there's clover oil that will make it last longer. I don't see the reason of using it just yet, but at least I can go back and check it out just in case I decide, oh, you know what, I need to use it. So there are things that they turn around and explain. The one thing I had difficulty with, like I said, I've painted with watercolor and acrylic, and I'm used to holding the metal fiber, this piece. And he says to hold it here. I had difficulty with that, but that's on me. That's not him. Had I never painted before, it might have been easier. Everybody's going to be different. And that's the one thing that you can say about this, is that everybody's different. But the one catch is that you have to do your homework assignment, you have to photograph it and upload it. And then you won't be able to go past anything until you upload your homework. And that way they can tell you what's wrong, what's you need to improve on, things like that, before you go to the next part. So I did this on Monday, November 8th, turned it in, and I happen to have I've already got my response back, which is great because I thought it would take a little longer. And they said, nicely done here. Your values are properly placed and evenly filled evenly. Your paint density looks great here with no canvas showing through. Like I said, I hated it. I didn't think it was good enough. But yet, I turned it in and I got this. So I'm going to the next one. So here we are. This is my homework for Block 1, Part 1. I'm going to the next one, and hopefully you've enjoyed this. I do film from down below when I do this, so I'm not having the paintbrush hitting the camera. Hopefully I can get better at this. I'm hoping everybody enjoyed it. And like I said, we're going to continue. I'm hoping to start Part 2 on Wednesday and just start the classes up. I don't know if I'll stream this on my Twitch or not, but we'll see. Thank you all for coming. Like the video. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you're not, please consider subscribing. I do unboxes, playing with me's, and this and other things. So if you see my icon right down there, click it, then click the notification bell. Make sure it's set to all. That way, when I upload new content, hopefully YouTube is notifying you. I'm hoping everybody is having a wonderful day.